Senator Bernard Sanders announced his presidency yesterday. He's been shattering numbers in terms of first day donations. I believe in 12 hours he raised $3.3 million in comparison to Kamala Harris's $1.2 million in 24 hours, which is like previously the biggest for this election cycle. And he has just blown that out of the water. I think they're at 4 million on the day now. But man, was it exciting. I'm really excited. I talked about that. And, he announced his run, not to toot my own horn or anything, but I was the first, YouTube progressive host to report on it at 4:30 a.m. on the West Coast. Just saying, just throwing that out there. And everyone, reported on it. Everyone is so excited about this run from Bernie Sanders, in the YouTube left wing. Everyone is super psyched because Bernie Sanders represents all the positions that we support. He has the record to back it. He has paved the way and started the progressive movement as it is today. And so, why wouldn't you be excited? The man is an absolute legend. Everyone reported on it. Kyle Kalinske, David Pakman, Mike Figueredo, Rash Nash, just going on and on. Everybody reported on it. So everyone's super excited, except for Jimmy Dore. That is what it seems like. He has stayed essentially silent. Now, he definitely didn't post any videos. All those guys I just mentioned there, Kyle, David, Mike, Rash, Nash, all of them, they uploaded videos to their channel. But, we have to look at Jimmy's Twitter even for this because he obviously didn't upload a video. Now, this is piggybacking off a video I made like 2 days ago. It's titled, Jimmy Dore's weirdly shafting Bernie Sanders. And so this is kind of a follow-up to that video in which I showed you guys clips of Jimmy Dore and him being, very butthurt that Bernie Sanders didn't come on his show. You can check out those clips right here.
So El Bernath wants to know, Kyle says if Bernie runs, he has his vote. Do you agree?
Do I agree that Bernie has my vote if he decides to run?
Yeah.
My first choice is Tulsi Gabbard. My second choice is Bernie Sanders. I would love a Tulsi Bernie ticket.
That would be
yeah. So Tulsi,
amazing.
And the reason why is that Tulsi has shown more courage to stand up to the establishment than I've seen out of Bernie, especially when it comes to foreign policy.
Johnson.
Joining late, but everyone is telling us to donate to Bernie's potential 2020 campaign. But how do we know the DNC won't cheat?
You don't.
You don't.
You don't. That's the thing. I keep getting these things I'm not fucking donating. Yeah. I'm not doing it. I'm not donating. Nope.
Sorry.
I can't do it. There's no progressive takeover of the Democratic Party. Do you need any? What the F? And when Bernie said he was calling for a revolution, he wasn't being truthful. That was just a gimmick. He's not being truthful. He won't come on this show and talk about it. Bernie won't even come on the show. He'll do any interview with anybody if you said you voted for Hillary. But if you didn't, Bernie won't come near you. That's the opposite of political courage. When he went from filling stadiums, when he decided to back Hillary Clinton, he couldn't fill a gymnasium after that. That's a fact. What do these people think they're doing? And to reform the Democratic Party, that's called incrementalism. We don't have time for incrementalism. Bernie Sanders started every speech in 2016 by saying, sounds like you're ready for a revolution. Mm-hmm. And then he turns around and starts sheepdogging people into the Democratic Party, which does stuff like this. So when he said, are you ready for a revolution, it doesn't sound that it was intellectually honest. It sounded like that was just a line now to get a rise out of people at a rally. Because now he's sheepdogging people into a party that's cheating progressives at every turn. They're cheating. They just smeared and slimed Cynthia Nixon. We can go over it how many times the person Jaffe who ran against Pelosi, they screwed him over. They're screwing people over in Texas. Everywhere. The party is not letting this happen. Even Bernie Sanders, right? We've been trying to get Bernie Sanders on the show. And, his campaign, his guests got their head up their ass. And they can't wait to go on Chris Hayes and Rachel Maddow, who shit on them every frickin' time. But someone who actually supports them is going to help to get their message out. They shun them. I hope you effing lose again.
No.
Right? Bernie's advisors are 60-year-old frickin' white guys who are in a bubble. Look how long it took them to get here. They let the Democratic National Committee completely rig the system, and they didn't blow a fire alarm. And they're still not talking about it, and the system's still rigged, and you're doing jack about it.
And so in the video, I had essentially explained that it's extremely odd that Jimmy Dore was shafting Bernie Sanders, and that basically he was just taking, these, pretty much what were clear shots at him, where he's saying, oh, we already know about Bernie, what do you want me to say? Or saying I'm not going to donate to his campaign because the DNC, we don't know if the DNC is going to rig him or not, but I'm going to donate to Tulsi Gabbard, who's also running in the Democratic Party, so that doesn't make any sense anyways. But it's really obvious that he's butthurt because Bernie Sanders didn't come on his show. And, you saw that in the clip there where he says he hopes he loses because he didn't come on his fucking show. But listen, man, I can't find the clip, but there was this clip of him, getting super excited after Bernie had won a primary. What happened to that Jimmy Dore? What weird form of Jimmy Dore do we have in 2019? I really honestly don't know, but this is not the same Dore from the same dimension. This is some weird version of Dore who's gone completely 100% off the rails. But look, man, so as I explained earlier, everyone was super psyched. Kyle Klinsky had, he threw in that clip in his video that was really fucking funny. And everybody was just super psyched, man. Why wouldn't you be? This is the shit, man. This is our entire, political, everything. Okay, this is where it comes to fruition. So everyone was super excited about it. Everyone was talking about it. I told you guys I donated $27. I was telling you donate. And a shit ton of you guys did donate to his campaign, which is awesome. But he has not donated to him. He certainly hasn't made any videos about him. But let me show you something that he actually had sent out 2 days ago. Now, this tweet reads, "Super important to have a soldier on the Democratic debate stage opposing war from a position of strength. That's why I just donated to Tulsi Gabbard to make sure she gets on the debate stage. She needs 65,000 individual donations to make it into the debates. #peace. Even if you don't plan on voting for Tulsi, I think we can all agree that a strong anti-war, anti-military industrial complex voice gets to address the whole country and the other warmongering politicians. Please make a small donation to ensure we have a strong voice for peace." And he had previously, and he was quote tweeting a tweet that says, there's no force more powerful than love. The American people deserve leaders who love our country, our freedom, and it links to Tulsi 2020 donation link. So, what he's rightfully doing is saying, I donated to Tulsi Gabbard, please donate, because we want to sort of shift the Overton window, if you will, when it comes to our positions on foreign policy. So he's down to donate to her, which is great, because Tulsi is someone that we support. Obviously, Bernie is number one, but Tulsi is also a good candidate. And by the way, I'm starting to think that they both know what they're doing. I don't think that they're independently kind of doing their own things. I think maybe, and I may be kind of wrong on this, it's entirely possible, but it may, because if you've noticed, Tulsi Gabbard's entire campaign, the entire thrust is foreign policy, and so it seems like she's kind of like the progressive counterpart on that with Bernie Sanders. And I think with, once all of the other candidates kind of give up their delegates to whoever they want to give it to, I think the plan here may be for Tulsi to give up her delegates to Bernie if she is to make it all the way through. I may be completely wrong on that, but that kind of seems to be what the case is. I have no idea. But he's down to donate to Tulsi Gabbard, which is great. But remember, he said he wouldn't donate to Bernie Sanders because he doesn't know if the DNC is going to cheat him. So that whole thing, obviously, thrown out the window. If you haven't noticed yet, Jimmy Dore tends to switch up his logic on a whim. So he didn't upload a video about it. He didn't even send a fucking tweet about Bernie Sanders announcing. He didn't send out a tweet saying, "Hey guys, I just donated to Bernie Sanders' campaign. Here's the link. Go donate. We need to shatter the records. We need to take back our government," and all this stuff. None of that, dude. Tweets, promoting his live shows and stuff like that. He retweeted a Ron Placone tweet, where Ron is defending Bernie Sanders, so to be fair to Jimmy Dore, but I think he's doing that for sort of plausible deniability reasons, if you will. He also retweeted another Bernie supporting tweet from Abby Martin, but by and large, he literally tweeted nothing about Bernie Sanders' announcement. And if anything, he quote tweeted a tweet from some doofus saying, "So I guess we're just never going to talk about how the DNC has done absolutely nothing to address the known fact that it rigs its primaries." And Jimmy Dore responded saying, "Nope." So it's clear that Jimmy Dore is feeling this way. That tweet shows the very obvious and clear animus that exists towards Bernie Sanders, because Bernie Sanders did not come on Jimmy Dore's show. Let's keep it real. Think about it like this. Jimmy Dore, huge supporter of Tulsi, which is awesome. We support Tulsi. But Tulsi is not number one over Bernie Sanders, not in any dimension, not in any planet, no galaxy, not on, planet Vegeta, not on planet Earth, nowhere. Okay, she's number two. She's not number one. But there's clear animus, and you can see it because Tulsi went on his show. She promoted him on Joe Rogan. She is, really giving him a lot of compliments. Bernie Sanders has ghosted him and refused to go on his show. So it's pretty obvious what you're trying to get at here. And I showed you the clips of him talking about Bernie Sanders. He's obviously got a lot of, first degree ass burns from basically being sore, just being sore. Like, dude, you get over that shit, man. Get over it, dude. Like, that's pretty, especially when you have such a big audience and you're allowing your influence to be deemed and based upon whether or not he came on your show. Like, come on, dude. Are you serious, man? Like, come on. Stop being butthurt, dude. Like, wake the fuck up, man. And there's this Tim Canova tweet that was sent out yesterday. And I'm going to read it to you guys. But this is Tim Canova. There's this weird genesis of this group of real progressives like Tim Canova, who's a real progressive. I supported him in his race against Debbie piece of shit Schultz. And he sent out a tweet saying, "Sorry, but I don't know anything about Bernie Sanders. Get ready for BS and all kinds of fuckery in this campaign. Silence at all the 2016 election rigging and dirty tricks has only normalized such rigging as we saw in 2018 and as we now see today." So what he's clearly trying to say is he's trying to take shots at him. This is similar to the insane progressive, lunatic progressive, that YouTuber who's apparently gone now, who would go after Bernie Sanders saying, "Oh, he didn't call out the rigging live." And so, and Tim Canova's been cheated. So I might want to give him a pass just based on sympathy reasons because he was cheated. Like, they fucking burnt the ballots and the judge found it to be illegal. So, he's coming from a position of pain, and I get his position. But again, he's trying to throw a shot at Bernie and kind of say, whatever, Bernie, not that hot on him, and, he did this, and so I'm not really that hot on him. And the point I'm bringing this up is Tim Canova was on on Jimmy Dore's show, and the video was titled, and I didn't watch the video, but it said, why did Bernie abandon Tim Canova and going after election rigging? So this is very obviously a new camp of people that is being created, where you have people like Tim Canova and Jimmy Dore who have grown this hatred for Bernie Sanders, where they'll they'll try to spite him at every turn, meaning, they'll support a Tulsi Gabbard over him, despite him obviously by, in any dimension being the number one over Tulsi Gabbard. They'll support Tulsi Gabbard just for the fuck of it, basically. They'll support Tulsi Gabbard just to spite Bernie Sanders because they are really pissed off. I can sort of understand where Tim Canova's coming from because he's been through a lot. Jimmy Dore, on the other hand, he's just butthurt because Bernie won't come on his show, which is fucking embarrassing. So, in summary, he's retweeted 2 tweets supporting and defending Bernie Sanders. Didn't send out a single tweet talking about Bernie announcing. He didn't send out a single tweet saying he donated to Bernie Sanders. He didn't send out a tweet saying, here's where you can donate to Bernie Sanders. He didn't make a video about his announcement yet, which is, I guess, understandable because the way the shows work and stuff. But, Kyle did a video, which he's not doing a show right now, but he just did kind of, sort of off the cuff, if you will, and just kind of did it outside of that. But anyways, getting to a little bit of rambling here, but this is not the Jimmy Dore that we know. This is some, other dimensional Jimmy Dore who is now turned into this super butthurt fucking loser at this point, who, when provided with the opportunity to support real progressive ideals and a real progressive candidate, is being a, little bitch, basically. This is the Dore we're talking about, dude. If you think 2015 Dore would be, doing this kind of shit, fuck no, dude. I don't know what happened to that Jimmy Dore, but he is totally gone, man. And it is not cool. I really am not satisfied with current Jimmy Dore. He sucks pretty fucking bad.